Hello, coaching community. Welcome to yet another podcast. I know it's been a while. It's been a while since we went live. Reason being that we were busy with other things. Life happened. I've been doing a lot of traveling, but then when I met Chantal and she started talking to me about ChatGPT, I mean, I've heard it before, but only when I attended one of her workshops did I realize, wow, this is really powerful. And ever since then, I really saw the power of ChatGPT. It's become my best friend. I've been using it a lot also to write my own communication, write my emails, write my posts, not that many, but I'll write more. And it's just so much fun. You know, some of you've been really struggling probably putting out content. You have those ideas, but you just can't put it in the right words, or maybe it just doesn't sound as great as as it sounds in your head. But I really was impressed by the quality of output and how fun I could make it. And I could even inform the system of how my own writing style is. And then it would write more or less in my style. Of course, I would do some tweaking and so on and so on. But I just find like the pressure of like forcing myself, pressuring myself, coercing myself into writing, it just has gone away. And so Chantal is here to tell us more about ChatGPT. I know she's been also a big addict of ChatGPT. So tell us more about yourself and ChatGPT and how it came into your world, and what is it that you're doing these days with ChatGPT?
Yeah, thank you so much, Rena, for having me on your amazing platform. Very excited to be here. So like you shared, my name is Chantal Cox. I am a transformation neurocoach as well as a special educator. So in my 9 to 5, I get to train and coach coaches. And then in my business, in my evenings and weekends, I also get to train and coach coaches. And in my both now, it's really crossing over. I recently found ChatGPT. I was on a mastermind call with some other fellow neurocoaches, and they were talking about it. And I kind of internally rolled my eyes. Externally, I had a smile and I'm nodding and I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds great. And in my head, I'm thinking, it's one more thing. It's one more shiny object. It's something new to learn. It's a distraction. It's going to cost a lot of money. Like I just tuned them out. And then somebody said, I can't believe it's free. And then I started paying attention. And I was like, all right, so what is it? I'm going to give myself like 30 minutes to play on it and then be done. Just kind of dip my toe in the water. And we got off that call at 8 p.m. my time. And by midnight, I had completely knocked out like 3 things I'd been avoiding on my to-do list. My co-partner and I decided to do like a monthly special for our membership. And so we had it all mapped out, but I had needed to update the copy on our sales page. And I just was dragging my feet. I did not want to do it. I knew it was going to take so much time and energy, and I'd be second guessing myself. And so I kept finding other really important things to do in my business other than update that landing page, right? And then with ChatGPT, in moments, I was able to kind of play around with it enough to figure it out enough to update that and create like swipe copy for my referral partners, which had also been on my to-do list, like create emails and social media for them to help promote. And so these 2 major things that I'd been dragging my feet on were done so easily and so much fun. And I forced myself to go to bed at midnight because I did need to get up and work the next morning. And I woke up so energized and excited, could not wait to get back on ChatGPT, could not wait to learn more, to dive deeper and see how else this could just simplify so many tasks that I'd been dreading in my business. And, we all create copy and social media and blogs and podcasts and all this content we're creating. And this just takes so much of the time. It really shortens the time, but you can still have it in your voice with your message and your unique personality, which is just so cool.
Excellent. Yes, that has been my experience as well. Oops. So how can you, sorry, I'm just juggling speaker. Okay. So thank you so much. So I know you've been running also workshops now, and you've been sharing with other coaches how they can integrate ChatGPT into their business. And so tell us more about that, and perhaps share with us some of your tools, techniques, secrets, little hints, and that you think would be also useful to our community.
Absolutely. And welcome, Henry and Patricia, for being live with us. And Patricia was an attendee of the February workshop. And so in February, what I was finding is I was, becoming obsessed with ChatGPT and using it to revamp so many things in my business. And I'm talking about it, when you get really excited about something, you share it. And so I'm talking to my family and friends, some of which are in this online space and some are not. And I'm pretty tech savvy. And so I was able to jump on and figure it out pretty quickly. And other people were really struggling. And with my background as a special educator and professional development creator and provider, I was like, oh, this would be really easy and fun for me to create a simple workshop and some tools and structure it in order to help other people just kind of flatten that learning curve so that they could get up and running with ChatGPT very quickly and easily as well, because this is just so powerful. And I think it needs to be in the hands of every purpose-driven entrepreneur and coach so that we can really create that impact that we've been put on this earth to create. So in the workshop, we did one in February. We're redoing it in March because so many people that attended and then people that couldn't attend. There was just so many people contacting saying, are you going to do this again? Are you going to do this again? And so, yes, yeah, that's a great idea. We can definitely, I'll share my screen in a moment and give some examples. But so in the workshop, what I found was, there's these, no matter what your niche is, no matter what space you're in, there's certain kind of foundational elements. And so it just clicked in my head that if I could get people on and structure it enough and provide enough that they could revamp their bio, their elevator pitch, and their ideal client avatar, then that would give them enough familiarity to then take it from there and really start digging in deeper. And so that's really the focus of the workshop, is to learn how to do those three things and to walk away with those three things. Let me open a ChatGPT. So things are evolving so fast. When I started, it was just one level, and you would log in, and then sometimes you'd be working along and then it would kind of like kick you out, for lack of better words, because so many people were using it. And so they did release a plus version, which you can pay $20 a month and have ChatGPT plus. So when I share my screen, you're going to see on mine that it says plus, and it's the same as ChatGPT, which is free. I just don't get kicked out as often. And then they just released like a couple days ago for those on Plus that we can trial their latest one, their 4.0 version. And so right now that one's not showing up, but let me go ahead and share my screen here. Let me drag this over and hold on. They changed monitors. So let me share screen again. Okay, there we go. Okay, can you all see this thing that says ChatGPT? So some basics, if you've not logged on before, you can go to, you'll see up in here, chat.openai.com will lead you to ChatGPT, or they also were able to secure the domain of AI.com. So that's the easiest to remember and the easiest to type in. So AI for artificial intelligence. So if you type that into your browser, it will pop up. You create a free account, you tie it in with your Google account. So you don't have to create a new username and password that you're going to forget and have to go through all the login mumbo jumbo every time you want to get in. When you are in a conversation with ChatGPT, it's called a chat, and you'll see right now. So yesterday there were a couple hours, like I think about 5 hours, that ChatGPT was down. And so right now it says history is temporarily unavailable. We're working to restore. So typically you'd see all my previous chats and I could click on one. So I've got one for my podcast, one for my membership, one for the ChatGPT workshop. And so because as you're working with ChatGPT in a chat, it remembers and stores that data. So now every time I go into my membership, if I say, create social media for this week, it remembers my membership name, the price point, the benefits, and my ideal client. And, it just helps all that stuff. So I think it'd be most fun. Does someone live, whether it's you, Raina, or someone else, want to play, and I'll use your information to create some stuff and show you how this works?
Maybe Henry, I know you have a interesting coaching niche. Why don't you mention what it is?
Hello, good morning. I hope you can hear me. I'm sorry about the background noise. If you like,
You're a bit muffled. Your sound is not coming through clearly. If you could come closer, maybe to a speaker and try again.
Rena, you're muted.
Yeah. So Henry does type 2 diabetes coaching.
Love it.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to, I don't know if you can hear me, actually. There's too much noise back here.
There's a lot of noise behind you.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise back here, and it's difficult for me to
He's not a business coach, Chantal. He's a health coach.
Yes.
So you want
So I'm I am a health and wellness coach, okay? And I help individuals to lower their glucose, reverse type 2 diabetes, and build a little muscle. So perhaps we can have this create a quick ad to help someone to lower their glucose, reverse muscle, and live a better life.
Okay. So a lot of that was muffled. So I did hear you help people with type 2 diabetes. And then at the end, I heard to help them live a better life. Did you say lower their levels? Was that?
The lower sugar levels.
Lower the sugar levels?
Yes.
reverse type 2 diabetes and lower their sugar.
Help people reverse type 2 diabetes and lower their sugar levels so they can live their best life. So this is very basic. So if you, Henry, open ChatGPT at some point later today, you could give it more information than this to get, it's kind of, the more you put in, the more you get out, the deeper you go with it. But so just a couple minutes, I'm asking ChatGPT to act as a business coach and help me update my bio. I'm a health coach named Henry Gaskins. I help people reverse type 2 diabetes and lower their sugar levels so they can live their best lives. So I gave ChatGPT a tiny, tiny bit of your information and a prompt to act as a business coach and update your bio. So I'm going to hit enter and let's see what we get. So if you can't see, if you're just listening in, we just got an amazing paragraph. I'll read it out loud in case you can't see it. So ChatGPT is very polite and says, certainly, I'd be happy to assist you with updating your bio. Here's a potential version of your bio. Hi, I'm Henry Gaskins, a health coach who specializes in helping people reverse type 2 diabetes and lower their sugar levels to achieve optimal health and well-being. With my expertise in nutrition and wellness, I empower my clients to make meaningful lifestyle changes that lead to lasting results. My passion for guiding others on their journey to better health stems from my experience or my own experience with diabetes, and I'm dedicated to helping others live their best lives. Let me help you take control of your health and transform your life. So, Henry, I don't know about your story and your journey, but you'd be able.
It's quite impressive. It's quite impressive that it even mentions, stems from my own experience with diabetes, which is the case for Henry. I'm wondering if it accesses some information on the web about Henry, because we definitely didn't mention this here, but it's pulling this information in. So I don't know if it's just assesses the odds of somebody coaching diabetes, and surely,
So that really works very well. I don't know if you can hear me. That really works very well. Very impressed with the text and how it kind of hinted at my own story, which I can expand upon and expound upon a little bit later on. So thank you so very much for that.
Awesome. And we'll copy paste this and get it to you, Henry. Every time you put in something, so if I open another chat or if someone put in this exact prompt, you're going to get a different response every time. And if you didn't really like this, you could regenerate the response, or you could add in, I'm going to make something up, but include that I am a doctor. I don't know. And then it's going to update it with whatever information I provided. If you were not somebody who had your own experience with diabetes, you could let them know that and say, actually, I do not. Diabetes. I was inspired after helping my mom. I don't totally making all this up. But so ChatGPT you can go back and forth with it and have it tweak to really make sure that it does capture and is accurate. And then this is always a great starting point. You would go in and, if you really, it says like my journey began. That's pretty common, but maybe you don't like the word journey. Maybe it would be like my experience began. Like you can copy paste it into whatever you're working on and update any of the words that don't make sense. But you can see how quickly this is generating stuff and how it sparks ideas. And so then you could also say, great, write me 2 social media posts promoting my upcoming workshop where I will teach about the 3 top foods to avoid. I'm totally making this up. I'm not a health coach. And you could even say, if you use emojis, you could say include emojis. If you don't typically use emojis in your social media, then by no means you don't have to. You can also have it, I'm telling it to include emojis and relevant hashtags. You can also tell it to include an idea for a stock photo. What else are cool things that we could have it do as an example? You could tell it to write in a friendly and fun tone. And you can see I've got some misspellings and some I fixed, some I haven't. If it's not that crazy of a misspelling, it will just roll with it. You don't necessarily have to have it be perfect spelling and perfect grammar. But so here's 2 social media ideas. It's got exciting news. Join me at my upcoming workshop where I'll be sharing the top 3 foods you should avoid for optimal health. It's got some emojis. At the bottom, it's got some recommended hashtags: healthy lifestyle, wellness, nutrition tips, food avoidance, workshop, health coach, and it gives you a stock photo idea. So whatever you use, like if you use Canva, you could go into their search and type in, like fresh fruits and vegetables, and kind of look and find one that matches your vibe, your brand, the post, and all that stuff. So you can see how quickly it could help you with your social media. It'll do the same thing for blogs. It'll create blogs. It'll create your weekly emails for you. What else? Oh, you could also say, I want to start a podcast, generate 5 title ideas. So it can, that could be the title of your podcast. It could be titles of episodes. And sometimes, you might like healthy habits, how to improve your relationships with food. You don't necessarily have to, you can mix and match and combine your own. Trying to think of other cool ideas. Oh, it generates tables. Generate a table with a week of content for social media, a weekly email, a weekly podcast, and 1 blog post. And it'll start giving you ideas of what your week of outreach might look like. So does this kind of help everybody that's with us live kind of start seeing some of the amazing, very quick and easy things that you could do? Like, we're really only limited by our own imagination and creativity.
Wow, this is just incredible. This is taking coaching to the next level. I think everybody who has been holding themselves back in their coaching business because they felt like they could master their social media, this is like no excuses, no more excuses. We gotta skin this cat. And this is one of the ways of doing it. Wow, I'm impressed. So what are the other cool things we can do with it? What I find cute, before you continue, what I find cute, maybe because I'm on a free version, my ChatGPT is not as polite as yours. So I'm wondering why. Maybe you trained it to be more polite, but for me, it just spits out the text. It doesn't say like, I hope this helps you.
Yeah. And we can't necessarily see my history right now in my past chats. But when I started, I was so, I would be like, good morning, ChatGPT. What pronouns do you prefer to be called? Like, I tried really hard to I don't know, see like the best way to interact with it, because it's so fast and so accurate and so amazing that I'm like, I've seen this movie before. Like, I want ChatGPT to be my friend when it decides to turn against humanity. No.
Excellent.
Kidding,
So we
not
have a question here. How long do you think will there be a free version?
It's really hard to say. I'll stop sharing for a moment, but then I'm happy to share again and show anything that anybody has ideas or questions about. Right now it's in research mode. And so anything you do put in, definitely don't put in any personal information, anything that you wouldn't want on your kind of website page. So obviously your name, your niche, that kind of stuff, totally fine. But don't put in like your address or something, because we don't exactly know. We know the overall reason that they're collecting data and using us as kind of their research lab rats is to make it better as they roll out more and more advanced versions of this, which they did just release the ChatGPT 4, which is yeah, I've got to play with it quite a bit, and it is more responsive, more in depth. You get a little bit longer responses. There is a couple kind of things to know is they call them tokens. And so each kind of prompt and response has so many tokens, and that's about, have to relook at my data and it may have changed by now, but I want to say about like 24,000 characters. So when you're typing, if you type a really long response, you might get a shorter response, or it might be responding and stop mid-sentence, and you can just prompt it to, I say like, oops, looks like you ran out of tokens. Please continue from where you left off. And they're like, okay, sorry about that. That happens sometimes, and continues with the response. I see we got some questions in the chat. Okay, so Henry asks, can it generate accurate statistics? No, this is not a tool for kind of deep research. I would not use this to write any type of like your thesis or anything like that. It will generate made up stuff, and it can't fact check itself. And so there are other AI tools that you could use to kind of get your resources, get your information, get your statistics, and then you could feed those to ChatGPT and it will regurgitate accurately. But if you just tell it to, yeah, cite me such and such statistics, definitely fact check. There may be times it's accurate, but they are not claiming that that's the intent of it. So don't rely on it for that. I wonder how long there will be a free version. I do too. Every time I log in, I'm like, oh boy, what are we going to see today? Because it changes so fast. Rena says that, yes, gave you a link that if you want to see the replay of the February workshop that I did that leads you step by step on how to do your bio, your ideal client, and your elevator pitch, and gives you some prompts and an Excel spreadsheet to help you structure your prompt library. There's a link for you in that. And how long have I been using it? Not very long at all. Let's see, the first workshop was February 25th, and I'd been using it slightly under a month. So we're coming up on March 25th. And so about 3 months. This is really new technology. It got released in November of 22, and everything, their creators only fed it information up to September of 21. So things after September 21, it doesn't necessarily know. It was not fed and programmed to know it. However, there are weird anomalies out there. I was on a workshop. I've been taking a ton of workshops and trying to learn and get better and do all this. And somebody had asked it who the CEO of Twitter was, and it knew it was Elon. And that happened way after September 21. So there's little weird things that are popping up. So it's kind of learning and stuff, but somebody in another chat may have fed it that information. Yeah. Do you have to use the new version? I believe if you just log into the free, it'll give you the biggest one or the latest one that you have access to for free, and then play with it. It's going to be really good. The one downfall to the free is that you will get kicked out per se. It'll say, oh, we're at capacity, try again in an hour or something like that. So that's a frustration point, but definitely try it for free. See if you like it before you invest money. But then it is still a low investment. You could just pay $20 for 30 days to try it out and then see if you're going to use it or not. You really know how to ask questions to get the best response. Any tips on how to do that? Yes, practice. In my workshops, I'm giving a lot of these prompts as part of a resource that I give. And the prompts that I've used today, I'll copy paste into a sheet and get that to Rena so she can share that with you guys so you can see the prompts that I used today. that I pulled out of my head just based off experience so far. And let's see, I've seen others write very different complex prompts. What are the elements it needs to have? I too have written very complex prompts. I wanted today to be very simple and user-friendly for you guys, but still get really quality results, because it can get intimidating. I've seen everything from, okay, ChatGPT, I'm going to give you information. And so they'd be like, business name, create a life you love coaching, and like put in all this stuff. And then in the prompt, use like the little brackets, and they'd say business name and some more information and brackets for something else. That's how like coders and stuff really like to do it. But I'm finding that I get quality results without having to be inauthentic to what feels natural to me. ChatGPT is very conversational. I feel like it's my new best friend. But yeah, you can just talk to it like you would a person. Something I did the other day was I asked it to generate me questions. I told it to act as a business coach and generate questions that my responses would help you really dig deep into the essence of me and my business. I wanted to go deeper than I ever had before. So it generated questions. I copy pasted those into a Google Doc. And then under question 1, I put my cursor and I turned on the free extension, the speech to text, and I just rambled. I just talked, and it didn't have spell check or grammar check. There were no periods. There was nothing. I just rambled and rambled and rambled about that question. And then I pasted that into ChatGPT. And I said, here's the response to question 1. I'll let you know the response to question 2 shortly. And so I just went back and forth like that. And it would be like, okay, great. I look forward to hearing your response to question 2. And by the end, like it helped me uncover things and put together things, because it asked things about like my childhood and my background and different experiences that I had not previously brought into my business. I kind of compartmentalized. And so it's really helping me make a full picture. I asked it to find the essence of me and my business, and I feel like it accurately did that. Yeah. Yes, we're getting pretty close now. What other questions? I want this to be informative and exciting for you guys, not just me rambling. Go ahead. Yeah.
Chantal,
How do you say,
actually,
how to pronounce your name?
Ildiko.
Ildiko. Okay.
Just a quick, I'm thinking, we write a lot and trying to figure out the best way to say things. If we put a draft in ChatGPT and ask him, her, it sounds like a relationship going on there. So it's got a personality now. Can we ask it to kind of refine or make it more professional or more warm toned, or also just to enhance the style of writing, for example? Or absolutely. For example, if I write something and I want to write it in a language that executives might use.
Absolutely.
Use it that way?
Yep. I had a draft email that I was sending for my work for my 9-to-5 job. And I'm like, I just feel like this could sound better and be more concise. So I copy pasted it into ChatGPT. I said, help me revise this draft. And so it's concise, clear, and a very professional tone, yet also friendly. And it took a couple iterations where I kind of gave it some more feedback. I'm like, well, I have met them before, because it was like so proper and professional, as if I had never spoken to this person before, and this was our first introduction. And so we went back and forth, but you can tell it the tone you want. I plan an annual trip for like 45 of my friends, and I can get a little irritated that, I'm like, well, I said your payment was due. Like, I gave you all these reminders, and come on, guys, like, I'm not a free bank over here. Like we got to put our deposit down. And so I'll type and be like not the nice, like friendly person I want to portray in a fun Facebook group of friends. So I'll be like, add emojis and make it friendly, or like soften this tone, and it will do that. Or if you naturally type very friendly and fun and you need it in a professional experience, you can do that. Another thing is, if you have a piece of writing that really captures your writing style. So if you have a past blog or email or something, you can paste that into ChatGPT and tell it to analyze this style of writing and summarize it in a way that other ChatGPT chats could mimic it. So then it will kind of give you a bulleted list of, looks like you write in a fun, friendly tone with the use of emojis, with, you know, it summarizes it. So then in another chat, you could say, write me a month of social media using the tone of, and copy paste like the tone that represents you specifically. Is that helpful? I feel like I'm like a fire hose of information at you guys.
Yes, thank you.
You are.
Oh, that's
And
great.
just keep in mind, you can and should have an Excel sheet where you can copy paste it. So Chantal in her workshop, she shares a very useful Excel sheet. So I've dropped it in the chat. I'm going to put it also under the Facebook video. So those of you who would like to get the replay, you can get it, and then you will get also the Excel sheet. But for you to keep in mind, like she just said, I was going to mention this too. Let ChatGPT analyze your style, summarize your style, have it somewhere handy where you can copy paste it anytime into the ChatGPT. In any case, if you're in the same chat, like you can show us now the different chats, but if it's still the same chat, you can just keep on putting stuff in there, and it's going to keep on using that style, right? It's just when you're moving from one chat to another, probably you need to start fresh. Sorry, Ildiko, I interrupted you. You were going to say something.
No, that's fine. I just said it's great. It's good to know. And the fire hose, keep on coming.
This will be in Rena's Facebook group, so you can rewatch the replay. And like I said, I'd share the, I'll go back through this chat and kind of copy paste some of the prompts that I used as examples today. And Rena shared the link if you want to watch the replay from February, or we also have a link if you want to come to the one this Saturday, March 25th. Patricia was there in February, and she says she put in an article that she wrote and liked and asked ChatGPT to give the tone, etc. It was pretty cool. So yes, that's something that we walk through too in the workshop. Rena just put the link in. If that aligns with you and you want to do that, there's a place in the registration form that says like, did someone refer you? Make sure to put like either the title of this group or Rena or something like that, because I like to thank my referral partners. The workshop is 90 minutes. And I keep saying it's a workshop. It's not like this where I just am like, information. I'm breaking it down into, here's what we're going to do. Here's how you're going to do it. I'm going to model how you do it. Okay, now I'm going to stop talking and allow you to play with it and be here for questions. And then I kind of gauge the group as a whole and say, okay, now let's move on to the next step. So you may or may not completely finish that step, but you have enough experience with it to then go back on your own time and keep playing with it. But that way, yeah, you have access to other people that are using it and their questions, because they might run into something that you didn't run into, that you might run into at some point. And so I tried to make it interactive, and I call this one version 2.0, because even though we're accomplishing the same tasks, you know, every time you do something, you learn a little bit. For example, I created, I'm calling it the Dream Client Avatar Generator, and it's pre-work you can do so that when you come to the workshop, you already have a really good ideal client generator or ideal client avatar generated from ChatGPT, and it does not require you to log on to ChatGPT at all. You fill out a Google form, it asks questions, you input information, and then there's automations through Zapier that it feeds it to ChatGPT and then emails you your response. A couple times we've run into a couple issues like with tokens, like the response is too long, so it doesn't generate the email, but I get notified, and as quickly as I can, I make sure it's all perfect and get you that email ASAP. And that's a free tool.
I'm wondering how you can get it email the result, because I have been playing with it, but I haven't actually seen the option. So I keep copy and pasting it. Obviously, we save time if it just emailed it over.
Yeah. Like Rena said, having some type of prompt library, in the workshop, I give a Excel spreadsheet for you to start building a library and give you an example of how. I felt that was the easiest way with the lowest amount of tech, to put it together for the workshop setting. I personally have my prompt library on Trello. I'm happy to show you what that looks like. Let me drag it over here and share my screen again. Okay, so this is Trello. It has a free version, but you do have to create an account. And I just didn't want half the workshop to be taken up with people creating an account for Trello and figuring out how to use Trello and all that stuff. But I've had it generate ideal client avatars, and I'm keeping like the most updated ones. And so I can open that. And this was all generated from ChatGPT. So then if I'm starting a new chat with ChatGPT, I can say, okay, I'm going to give you some information. I'm going to give you my bio and my elevator pitch and my ideal client avatar. And then we're going to do some tasks together. Sound good? And it's like, great, can't wait to help you. And so then I'll copy paste all that stuff. And then I'll say, don't generate anything yet, because I know I just gave it a lot of information and that took up a lot of the tokens. I'll be like, I'm going to give you your tasks next. Give me a smiley face emoji if you understand, and it'll give the little smiley face emoji. And then I can say, here are the tasks I want you to do. And you can see here, like I've got all kinds of stuff. So like my writing style, it said I'm positive, enthusiastic, personal, relatable, conversational, approachable, focus on benefits and results of a product or service, use this call to action to encourage a reader to take action, incorporates the use of exclamation marks, emojis, and personal anecdotes, and incorporates humor and passion. So I could also feed it that. I don't have to every time go find a piece of writing that I like. I already fed it a few to get that. I have it help me with my podcast show notes. I'm having it help me with the ChatGPT workshop. I'm doing creating a life you love through self-publishing in my membership. So it's helping me generate some of that. This was my complete business revamp, where I just was like, let's start from scratch, just help me with everything. Working on creating a quiz, it can help you with that. It looked at all my offers and it's helping me simplify and strategize based on my essence that it helped me come up with. And so now I have like a new business plan and a complete business analysis. I am creating a VIP day offer. And then these were just, some fun prompts that I'm collecting. It doesn't want to, but, and then this is everything that I'm getting generated from ChatGPT 4, which is the latest model. But that's how I am easily organizing myself. I like the use of Trello, but you can definitely use an Excel sheet. Let me find and show you the one from the membership. Or not the membership, sorry, the workshop. Come here. Okay, so here's the prompt template. So, you'd put in, if you because sometimes you have to look at a variety of places. So I was like, let's just compile it all together. What's your current iHelp statement? What's your current bio? What's a piece of writing? What are some other notes? Get some background information, your business name, all kinds of stuff like that. So this was kind of a page to collect all your information before we went into the prompts. And then instead of like how I had the Trello columns, I made them different sheet tabs. So for the ideal client avatar, I have a definition of what that is in case that's a new terminology for you. And then I gave prompts. So act as an expert marketer who specializes in helping life coaches refine their marketing copy and rewrite my current ideal client avatar to make it useful for all my marketing needs. My current ideal client avatar is. So then you'd put what you know so far in, and then whatever it generated, you might want to follow up with the prompt of, please dive deeper into each of the elements of this ideal client avatar to give me an even more detailed and nuanced understanding of my targeted audience. And so you would, part of the workshop is we work through this and you get your own copy of this, and this becomes your copy and could become your prompt library. And then I also give some different kind of ideas for prompts and stuff like that. So as you're working on things, I just really, really recommend creating some type of organizational system that works for you and your learning style to organize your prompts and the information that you get back. Because like you could see when I opened ChatGPT today, it was down for 5 hours yesterday, and today I can't access my old chats. So if I didn't already have my ideal client avatar and all that stuff saved outside of ChatGPT, I'd be freaking out. But I'm just like, all right, I'll just start a new chat. No big deal. That makes sense.
So we have a couple of questions from Heidi, and I think the iPhone person here with us is Heidi as well, because it's a similar question.
Okay.
So she asked on Facebook, how do you export all of your conversations? The last time I logged in, my conversations did not load. So I assume it's the same issue, Heidi, that Chantal was experiencing as well. I know they'll be back, but next time I want to capture everything best way. So yeah.
Yes. Right now, I mean, even in the paid version, because I see you're asking specifically, like, is that the best way in the free version? No matter what, to export right now, the only way is to copy paste it and organize it in some manner for yourself. I'm sure at some point there will be some type of export option, but there is not, at least with ChatGPT yet. There might be other AI tools where you can do that or link it with ChatGPT and have it do that. I just don't know how to yet, but now I am curious and we'll kind of look into that a little bit. Is it better to paste all the info or do you ever feed it a link? I've not tried a link, but so I've only ever done, let's try it. Hold on. Where's my ChatGPT? Let me share screen again. All right, whoops, sorry. Where? Oh, well, I'll just open a new one. Sorry. I have so many things open. Okay. So, even the one that we just did for Henry is gone right now. So I will get Rena what we worked on when that comes back up. And this is just temporarily, it's done it once before a couple days ago when they did an update. And then the next day I logged in, I had all my history back. So I have faith that all my history will come back. So let's just do the landing page and ask it. Please go to the landing page at this link and create a social media post.
Chantal, we still see the landing page. We don't see ChatGPT. So you might want to stop and start sharing them.
Sorry. Okay, I dragged it over to the other Can you see ChatGPT now? Yes. Okay. So I'm saying, please go to the landing page at this link and create a social media post. I don't know if it's going to be able to or not, but we'll find out. Nope. Okay. Okay. So it took the link, createalifeyoulovecoaching.com, and kind of pieced some things together. But so Heidi, it cannot at this time go to the page. So you'd have to copy paste your current landing page copy and then ask it to help you revise it. Or if you were starting from scratch, just start feeding it information. I want to create a landing page that helps me do this, this, and this. And here's the information about the product or offer, and work with it.
Also keep in mind, ChatGPT only has information until September 2021. So if you're loading your page, it might not have it in the system. And so, yeah.
Yes, that the ChatGPT workshop did not exist in September 21 because ChatGPT also did not exist until November 22.
So any last questions? We have to have a hard stop in about 5 minutes. So if anybody still has questions, feel free to reach out to Chantal. I'm also going to drop her links into the chat. And you still have 5 minutes to ask her any questions you like.
Henry, I see you asked about other languages. Yes, and I've heard from other people that speak languages that it does great. And then I've heard from other people that speak other languages that it's kind of like, so play with it. Especially if you're fluent in that language, say translate this into this, and see what it comes up with. And you might have to tweak it a little bit, or it might be great. Rena, you speak multiple languages.
Yes, I tried German and it was really good. I asked it to translate stuff. And also I tried Spanish, I tried Spanglish, I tried Portuñol. It even spoke two languages at the same time, which was fun. So yeah, the capabilities were quite impressive. The only thing ChatGPT didn't want to do is, we were fooling around with friends. I'm like, let's write a breakup letter, see how that works. It refused to do it. So it has ethics. It would write anything, but when I asked it, can you please write a breakup letter for my boyfriend? I don't have a boyfriend, but it said, no, please be sensitive and talk to the person. I felt scolded.
That's new.
Yeah, it was funny. So play around, but it was doing everything else. Yeah.
That's funny. I asked it, I was just with some girlfriends out at happy hour, and none of us have boyfriends and none of them are in this like online business space. So I was trying to come up with ways that they would be interested in using it. So we randomly asked it to break up with our boyfriend who had no legs. Where that came from, I have no idea. Again, happy hour, I don't know. But it told us it would not, because that was cruel and it's not gonna, do something hurtful to someone with disabilities and things like that. So then we were like, started a new chat and just said, write me a breakup letter. And then it did. But so maybe now even just breaking up is beyond its ethics.
Maybe it's the free version. It wouldn't break up on a free version.
Well, thank you, Rena, and everybody else. Feel free to reach out to me if you have other questions. Love to see you all at the workshop. And then did you get let me post the Dream Client Avatar link, because that's free, whether the workshop is for you or not. If you're just like, not interested in that, you could go to this link and just play around. Again, this helps you leverage ChatGPT without having to log into ChatGPT. You're answering everything in a Google form. Yes, same, Heidi. Awesome.
Excellent. So thank you so much, Chantal, for being here. I'm sure we're going to have you again with us as ChatGPT is evolving. And I'm sure in a few months, there'll be new things for us to talk about. But I really feel like, oh my God, if I had that 2 years ago, it would save me hours and days of my life, months, years of my life, if I didn't have to do it. So yeah, it's such a game changer. Life will never be the same. Life will never be the same. That's one of those tools that change life, change everything forever. And I was hearing that this is the fastest growing not social media, but platform in the world. It has grown faster than anything else so far we've seen. And so in 3 months, it had like 30 million. Sorry, my timer. And so, yeah, thank you so much. Everyone, play around with it. Play around with it. Whatever new ideas you have, prompts you have, tips you have, please share. Please share. I think it would really help every one of us. Yeah. Yes, yes. Sorry, this was from a message for me, but Heidi was my editor last year for my little ebook. And I wrote it in maybe a weekend, but it took me weeks and months and lots of hard work, and Heidi lots of hard work to edit it. So yes, it would have saved us so much time, so many hours, so many days, weeks. So thanks so much, everybody who joined us, those who've been listening to us on Facebook as well. Thank you so much. And hopefully we'll have more of these events for you coming up soon as well. So Chantal, good luck. All the best for this workshop this weekend. And I'm going to watch the replay because I have something else, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Everybody, bye-bye. This is it.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Chantal. I hope to see you Saturday.